Hey, I'm Ian Foster, and I'm here in Gros Morne filming with Old Crow magazine. So, in 2011, I was at the Trails, Tales, and Tunes Festival up here in Gros Morne. And on a day off from the festival, we drove up the Viking Trail to this site that I'm standing next to here, which is the SS Ethie site. So the SS Ethie was a mail ship that delivered mail to the colonies on the northern peninsula. And it sank in 1919 with every soul aboard surviving, including a baby allegedly ziplined to shore in a mail bag during the storm, which, as you know, is the origin of ziplining in Western Newfoundland. It's the first one. But in all seriousness, it was obviously a dramatic tale, and I read all about this on the placard that is just up the stairs from the site that we're at right now. And it said, head down these stairs to see what remains of the Ethie. And we headed down. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I guess I was expecting a little more than, well, sort of what you're seeing next to me and a little bit around the beach, which is not much that's left of the boat. Yet, of course, it makes sense because it was 1919 when this happened. Here we are filming in 2015, almost 100 years later. And the ocean has just kind of pulled the ship, what was left of the ship, back out to sea a little bit at a time. So I guess it was the absence of the Ethie instead of the presence that had me write this song, which is a little bit about mortality and the passage of time and just the importance of the moment, you know, that this, for whatever it is, this is our chance now, which is what the final refrain of the song is. And it's a special song to me in that it is actually the first song I wrote for my latest album, The Great Wave, which just came out in 2014. And it's a cool circularity this weekend. I'm glad we could come up here because this is my first time back to this festival 4 years later after writing this song for the first time on these very grounds. So it adds a nice circularity for me. Incidentally, the first time I ever played this song publicly was for a class of 19 students at Memorial University. It was a songwriting class. An old professor of mine asked me to come in and talk about songwriting and songs. I figured this was a good story to tell, you know. It obviously has a story, the one I just told you. And so I told that whole story, like just including that, you know, the baby dramatically ziplined to shore during a storm. And when I said that, there was a man at the back of the class and he raised his hand and he said, "I know that baby. She taught me in like grade 5. And another woman raised her hand at that moment when he said her name and he said, "Oh, she taught me too." And I just paused, you know, for a second, and I had to spell it out for them, you know. I said, "You mean to tell me that the first time I ever play this song for 19 people, 2 out of 19 personally know the baby ziplined to shore in 1919. You people are not doing anything for the stereotype that all Newfoundlanders know each other." So that's Ethie.